Good morning and welcome to the writing lesson for Monday the 1st of March. This is our last Monday writing lesson because next week on Monday you'll all be back in school doing a real life writing lesson in a real life classroom. So hopefully you'll enjoy the writing this week, but I'm sure you are really looking forward to getting back to doing some writing in a real classroom again. I know that we're all very excited to see you come back. So we thought this last week of our home learning period, we would like to do something a little bit different. You are going to be doing a piece of persuasive writing this week. So you're going to be persuading somebody to do something. And what we would like you to do is to produce a leaflet that is persuading new children to come to our school, to come to Chesswood. So they might be year twos who are deciding which school they're going to move on to in year three. Or they might be children who are moving into the area, maybe moving down from London, maybe moving from another city further away, or maybe even moving from another country and are deciding what school to go to. We want you to give your point of view, a pupil at Chesswood's point of view. Obviously, we already give out lots of information to parents of children who are thinking of coming to Chesswood, but we thought it would be lovely to have some information we could give out written from your point of view, from a year 6 pupil. At Chesswood. And we were thinking even that some of the nicest ones, some of the best ones, could even be printed out and we could actually give them to children when they come to look around our school. So it's quite an exciting task for this week. Today we are just learning to take some notes and start collecting and planning our leaflet. Collecting information for and planning our leaflet. But before you do that, the nasty writing task for today is all about imperative verbs. We've talked about these before, I think, in my online lessons. Can you remember? What is an imperative verb? Have a little think. Verbs which are used to give instructions, give commands, orders, or give advice. And when we use an imperative verb, we don't use a pronoun, so we don't use you, or he, or she, or I. Look, this is an imperative. Don't use a pronoun. Use a pronoun. Don't use a pronoun. So you don't need to put you at the beginning with an imperative verb. When you were younger, when you were year 2, year 3, we used to call them bossy verbs. So you can still remember that if it helps you. So today you're going to write 2 or 3 sentences persuading a child to come to Chesswood, and these are sentences you might be able to use in your leaflet writing this week. And I've given you some sentence starters on the nasty writing task online. They all begin, I think more or less all of them, yes, all of them, maybe this is the only exception, they all begin with an imperative verb. So use these if you want to, or you could make up some of your own ideas. I'm just going to give you an example that I might use. I was thinking about the fantastic sports facilities we've got at Chesswood, this great big playing field. I'm in my classroom today, by the way, you might have noticed. It's not Miss Hill's classroom, it's mine. And so out of my window I can see that lovely big playing field that we're lucky enough to have. So I'm going to start with, oops, I need my pen. I'm going to start with enjoy the wide open, no, I'm not going to write that actually. Change my mind. So if I was writing in my book, I might just write a line through it with a ruler and a pencil. Enjoy, I know what I'm going to say. I am going to write about wide open spaces, but I'm going to say enjoy some fresh air and wide open space. How can I finish my sentence? I've got my imperative. Enjoy some fresh air and wide open space. Wide open. Changing my mind again. I'm very indecisive today. Enjoy the fresh air, because that sounds better, doesn't it? Some wide open spaces doesn't really work. Enjoy the fresh air and wide open spaces outside that our school has to offer. There we are, I've already written one sentence. And I think I had some examples underneath here as well, just to show you. So So I've got the one about enjoying wide open spaces, and then the other one says, in year 3, find out all about how people lived during the times of the Stone Age and ancient Romans. Remember doing that? So that's your nasty writing for today. Pause the video if you would like to now and have a go at that, and then restart the video to watch and find out about our main writing task for today. So as I said earlier, today we're just going to be making notes to help us to write our persuasive leaflet. So we're kind of making a plan. And I thought I would give you 4 headings to help you. So the 4 headings I thought we would choose were subjects and topics. So that's basically, what do you learn about at Chesswood? You know, you're lucky enough to do lots of music and PE at Chesswood, quite a lot of DT, art. So those are the subjects, different subjects you learn, but also what topics have you really enjoyed learning while you've been at Chesswood? Think about that. So I mentioned Stone Age and ancient Romans, but maybe you've really enjoyed some of the topics we've done in year 6, or you remember some from year 5 or year 4. Facilities, I was thinking about things like the playing field, the music room, the DT room, the halls. What facilities do you think children would really like to know about at Chesswood? Good clubs and school trips that you know you can take part in Chesswood. Obviously at the moment these things aren't happening, but hopefully, fingers crossed, as we move into the summer and certainly into next year, these things are all going to start again. So, you know, which school trips and clubs would you really recommend to someone thinking of coming to Chesswood? And the last one, I've called it Chesswood Community, and I think what I was thinking of there were things like the Christmas fair, the summer fair, music concerts that we might put on, the performance we do most years at the church for Christmas. Also in here, maybe thinking about how it feels to be part of Chesswood. You could write about the Bright Sparks Code if you wanted to, or you could write about how there's always someone to help you at Chesswood if you need help. I know lots of you know that you can go to the Bluebell room or the Snowdrop room, or there's a particular adult that you can go and speak to if you need to, if you're worried about something. You could write about the worry box in your classroom and how that makes you feel a bit less concerned about being anxious, because you know that you can always tell your teacher what you're worried about. So Chesswood Community covers all sorts of things really. It's how you feel about being part of our school. So my idea was that for each of these headings, you could make a note of any important facts or information that you think a child coming to Chesswood needs to know. But also, what I thought would be nice is for each heading, include a personal experience that you've had, or an anecdote. And an anecdote is just a short story that's quite funny or interesting or entertaining. And I think that's really nice, because if you give some facts and information, you're telling the children what they need to know to make their decision about which school to go to. But also it's really nice to hear a personal experience that a child at the school has actually had, a funny story or something that they really remember because it was so interesting or exciting. And that could be from any year during your time in Chesswood. So it's a really nice opportunity for you as well, really, to delve back into your memory bank and think of some of the nice things that you've done while you've been at this school. So, on the website, there is this planning template that you can use to help you if you want to, or you could just freeze the screen when you start work and maybe draw something similar in your book with a ruler and a pencil, or you don't have to use this format at all. You could use like a mind mapping format, you know, where you have a circle, a circle with the heading in the middle, like facilities, and then you just, you know, do that round it. It's just something to help you get some ideas for your leaflet. So if I was going to write my leaflet, I'm not going to show you what I would do for every heading because you'll probably fall asleep. But if I start with, which one was it? I've made a few notes already, so that it's not, you know, I'm not taking too long to come up with ideas while you're watching me. I was going to start with subjects and topics and think about, because although I've worked in year 6 for, this is my 3rd year now, I have also worked in year 4 and year 3 at Chesswood, so I know a little bit about the subjects and topics that I've enjoyed from those year groups. And I was going to tell the children about how in year 3, I don't know if this is still the case or if you did it, but when I was in year 3, we learned about the Amazon River. So I could tell them that you learn about the River Ada, which is local, and you go on we went on a trip when I did it to Littlehampton, to the Look and See Centre, and to the Lifeboat Centre, which even though it's so close by, was such a great trip. I'm going to put that we went to the Lifeboat Centre. So I'm just making notes, I'm not writing sentences yet. So we learned about the River Ada, and you go on a trip to the Littlehampton Lifeboat Centre, and then you compare it with the Amazon in South America. And then I was going to give a personal story relating to that, because I remember when I was teaching in Year 3, we did this great activity, I don't know if you got to do it or not, where we found a suitcase in the playground. Now, I'll let you into a little secret. The teachers had actually put it there, but we pretended that someone had thrown it from the train and it had landed in our playground. And we took it into the classroom and we opened it and we found all these amazing things inside, and we had to try and work out who had left it in the playground, where it had come from. And it actually turned out it belongs to an Amazon explorer. And I think we wrote him a letter or something to tell him we had his things. So that was going to be my personal story, that I found a suitcase in the playground with my Year 3 class. And I really remember their excitement and their surprise at finding all these scattered belongings all over their playground. I think it had police tape round and things like that to stop them going into it in the morning. So that's a really happy memory for me from Year 3. Now I've filled up all my boxes with that one memory, that one piece of information, but I would definitely have more here. It's just that my pen is a bit thicker, so it's taken up all that space. I was thinking I would also tell them how in Year 4 you learn all about dragons, because that was a great topic I remember doing. In Year 5 I don't know so much about, but I think last year in Year 5 you did a really interesting piece of learning about space. And in Year 6, one of my favourite things to learn about and teach about is our World War II topic. So you can write anything you like up here. It can be topics you think are really interesting that will make the children want to come to Chesswood. It could be lessons that you think are really well taught at Chesswood. You might really enjoy music at Chesswood and want to tell people all about the music lessons that Mrs. Cossins teaches at Chesswood. So you might write about that. You might really love PE at Chesswood and write about that up there. So actually, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to go on to any of the other headings because the video's already been going for 13 minutes, I've realised. It's kind of very open, really. The idea is you're writing a leaflet to try and persuade other children to come to Chesswood. So you want to tell them about anything you've done at Chesswood that you've really enjoyed, anything you found interesting or exciting, and it's, you know, there's so much you can write about. I don't think you're going to struggle to come up with things to write. Each of these is going to be a short paragraph in your leaflet, so I think it's going to be very easy to come up with lots of ideas for things to put into your persuasive leaflet. So, have fun planning that today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!